Have you ever wondered why so many men after 60 start feeling disconnected from their own bodies, especially from the very organ that once symbolized strength, pride, and overall quality of life? I'm not asking to alarm you. I'm asking because there's an uncomfortable truth that's rarely addressed. The decline in sexual vitality isn't an inevitable part of aging. More often, it's the result of silent, everyday habits that slowly erode your inner strength without you even noticing. I'm Dr. James, a urologist and men's health specialist. After over 3 decades of working with thousands of men in their 60s and beyond, one truth stands out clearly. How you care for your penis is a mirror of your overall physical and emotional health. Because this isn't just about intimacy, it's about how you feel when you wake up in the morning, your confidence, your ability to stay connected to your partner, and your body's circulatory health. A well-functioning penis is a subtle but powerful indicator of your body's total vitality, from heart and brain health to mood stability and hormone balance. In today's video, I'll be revealing 6 things that every man over 60 should absolutely avoid if they want to maintain their stamina, energy, and masculine identity. These aren't dry medical lectures. They're real-world lessons drawn from decades of experience, paired with practical, simple strategies that can prevent common issues like erectile dysfunction, low libido, or chronic irritation. You don't need expensive devices or complicated medications. Sometimes, changing just one small habit can help your body begin to recover and rebuild naturally. And please, stay until the very end, because tip number 6, a mistake most men don't even realize they're making, might be the hidden reason behind your gradual decline in performance that you've been blaming on age. If you believe your health is worth protecting, then this video is for you. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what I'm about to share could save your quality of life, not just today, but for years to come. Let's get started. 1. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you paid attention to your erections? Not just as a performance issue, but as a signal. It might sound surprising, but after the age of 60, one of the most accurate indicators of your overall health isn't your blood pressure reading, cholesterol score, or even your weight. It's what's happening or not happening below the belt. Many men dismiss changes in erection quality as just part of getting older. They assume it's normal to wake up with fewer morning erections, to feel less spontaneous arousal, or to struggle maintaining firmness. And yes, some change is expected with age. But here's the truth I wish more men understood. Erections are not just about sex, they are your body's early warning system. I've spent decades treating men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. And what I've consistently seen is that erectile changes often show up before more serious health issues do. That's because the blood vessels in your penis are incredibly small and sensitive. They're like the check engine light of your vascular system. When blood flow starts to decrease, that's often the first place you'll notice it, long before you feel chest tightness or suffer a stroke. In fact, erectile dysfunction can precede a major cardiac event by several years. Why? Because the same plaque that clogs arteries leading to the heart also restricts blood flow to the penis. If you're noticing weaker or less reliable erections, don't just chalk it up to aging. It may be your body quietly telling you that your cardiovascular system is struggling, but blood flow isn't the only story. Hormonal shifts, particularly a drop in testosterone, can also affect your ability to get or sustain an erection. And testosterone does far more than fuel desire. It helps regulate your mood, maintain muscle mass, support strong bones, and stabilize your energy levels. Low testosterone can leave you feeling fatigued, foggy, emotionally flat, and yes, disconnected. In the bedroom, now here's where it becomes deeply important. When sexual health declines, it doesn't just affect physical function, it starts to impact emotional identity. Many men begin to lose confidence, feel less desirable, even question their masculinity. That emotional toll can silently erode motivation, self-care, and relationships. Which is why ignoring these signs isn't just risky, it's a missed opportunity to reclaim your vitality. The good news? These changes are often reversible. You don't need to accept decline as destiny. Small, consistent actions can begin to restore both your physical and emotional health. Start by speaking with a doctor who listens not just about erections, but about your sleep, energy, mood, and blood flow. Sometimes the solution is as straightforward as adjusting medications, optimizing testosterone levels, or adopting a heart-healthy lifestyle. Eat more foods that support circulation like leafy greens, berries, healthy fats. Stay active, even if it's just walking 20 minutes a day. Manage stress. Get good sleep. These things may sound simple, but together they support the foundation of your sexual health and your entire cardiovascular system. And most importantly, don't be ashamed. What's happening down there is happening for a reason. Treat it like a message from your body, not a failure of it. If you've noticed changes in your erections, or even if you haven't but want to stay ahead of the curve, this is your moment to act. Your future self will thank you. And if anything I've said resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's keep going, because in the next part we're going to dive into something most men do every day, without realizing how much it's sabotaging their long-term performance. Stay with me. 2. Let me ask you a simple but serious question. If something promised to fix everything overnight, would you trust it with your heart, your brain, or your liver? Then why gamble with one of the most sensitive organs in your body, your penis, by the time we reach our 60s and beyond? It's perfectly natural to want to preserve vitality, especially sexual vitality. But, unfortunately, that very desire can make many men vulnerable to false promises, whether it's a flashy ad online, a whispered miracle remedy from a friend, or a mysterious herbal tonic that claims to restore erections instantly. The truth is, most of these solutions are anything but harmless. I've seen it too often. Older men, frustrated by changes in performance, fall for unregulated pills, strange topical creams, or even DIY contraptions that promise more stamina or size. What they don't realize is that these shortcuts often come at a steep cost, sometimes irreversible. You see, the penis isn't just another muscle or piece of skin. It's a finely tuned, vascular organ, delicate, responsive, and, after age 60, even more sensitive to trauma or chemical interference. Products with undisclosed ingredients can cause allergic reactions, nerve damage, or worsen circulation. Vacuum devices used incorrectly can rupture blood vessels or create long-term scarring, and those herbal enhancers, many are either placebos or dangerously contaminated, and nearly all lack any legitimate scientific validation. I understand why these ideas are so tempting. When your confidence is shaken and you're unsure where to turn, the idea of a quick fix feels like hope. But as the saying goes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And when it comes to sexual health, chasing shortcuts often leads to more frustration, not less. More importantly, there's a deeper issue at play here. When you chase after unproven remedies, you're not just risking your physical well-being, you're reinforcing the belief that there's something wrong with you that needs to be magically fixed. That mindset can chip away at your self-worth and put unnecessary pressure on your relationships. True healing doesn't come from a pill. It comes from understanding, acceptance, and the right kind of support. So what's the alternative? It begins with honesty with yourself and your doctor. Instead of hiding your concerns or turning to anonymous sellers online, speak with a trusted health professional. Erectile changes could be linked to blood flow, hormone levels, sleep quality, or even medications you're already taking. The real solutions are often less dramatic, but far more effective. Prescription treatments that are tailored to your body. Lifestyle changes that improve your heart and your performance at the same time. Simple adjustments in sleep, stress, diet, and activity can restore not only your erections, but your sense of wholeness. Here's what I often tell my patients. Your health deserves more than desperation, it deserves wisdom. You wouldn't try to repair your eyesight with internet drops or treat a heart condition with mystery oils. Your sexual health is no different. It requires precision, care, and above all, respect. So if you're feeling unsure, frustrated, or just curious about what's possible after 60, take the step that actually empowers you. Don't let slick marketing or social shame drive your decisions. Choose evidence over illusion. Choose science over speculation. And choose yourself over shortcuts. Your body is still capable of intimacy, connection, and confidence. But the path forward isn't through the shadows of secrecy. It's through clarity, care, and commitment. And if this message resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts below. What have you seen or tried that promised too much? What questions do you still carry? Let's open up the conversation, because this is about more than performance. It's about respecting your body and reclaiming your power. Stay with me, because in the next section, we're going to uncover something millions of men do every day, not knowing it might be silently damaging their long-term health. 3. Let me ask you something many men don't consider until there's already a problem. When was the last time you truly paid attention to how you clean and care for your genitals? Not just whether it's done, but how it's done. After 60, our skin changes. It becomes thinner, more fragile, and less tolerant to the kind of rough treatment we may have gotten away with in our younger years. And when it comes to penile health, especially in aging men, the way you approach hygiene is no longer just about staying fresh. It's about protecting your most vulnerable tissue from long-term harm. Too often, I've seen well-meaning men cause themselves more damage than good, scrubbing too hard, using soaps that strip the skin, or even ignoring small signs of irritation until they become something more serious. The truth is, your penis requires gentle, intentional care, especially as you age. It's not a place for shortcuts, aggressive products, or fragrance-loaded body washes. Here's something I tell all my patients. Cleanliness isn't about intensity. It's about consistency and awareness. Using warm water and a mild, unscented cleanser once a day is enough for most men. You're not trying to sanitize or sterilize the area, you're simply helping your body maintain its natural balance. When you overdo it with harsh soaps, scrubbing, or antibacterial products, you actually risk drying out the skin, disrupting the microbiome, and increasing your chances of micro tears or allergic reactions. And if you're uncircumcised, gentle retraction of the foreskin and rinsing underneath is essential, and not as an afterthought, but as a daily habit. A buildup of smegma can lead to irritation, infections like balanitis, or even longer-term health issues if ignored. It doesn't mean you're dirty, it just means the area needs basic care like any other fold of the body. And if you ever notice redness, swelling, pain, or a persistent odor, don't brush it off. Those are signals your body is sending you. And ignoring them doesn't make them go away, it gives them room to worsen. What many don't realize is that this daily hygiene routine is also an opportunity to reconnect with your body. It's a moment, just a few seconds each day, where you're invited to check in. Is there a sore that wasn't there before? A patch of dry skin? A bump that needs monitoring? These small moments of self-awareness can lead to early detection and early treatment, which, as we know, can make all the difference. But there's another layer to this conversation, the emotional side. As men age, especially in a culture that rarely encourages us to speak about our sexual health with compassion, it can be easy to detach. But practicing gentle hygiene isn't just about biology, it's a form of self-respect. It's about sending your body the message that it still matters, that you still care, that you're not giving up on intimacy, on comfort, or on yourself. And here's the truth. A healthy penis is part of a healthy man. It reflects blood flow, hormone levels, nerve sensitivity, and yes, self-esteem. By caring for it with mindfulness and intention, you're doing more than preventing infection. You're reaffirming that this part of you is still worthy of care, connection, and confidence. If this resonates with you, I encourage you to share your experience or questions below. What changes have you noticed in how your body reacts to soaps, touch, or temperature? These conversations matter, and your insight could help another man watching this feel less alone. Next, we're going to talk about something men rarely realize is undermining their progress, a daily habit that slowly weakens sexual health without ever being noticed. Don't miss it, for here's a question most men never want to ask themselves. What if that sore, lump, or persistent pain down there isn't just temporary? What if it's your body raising a red flag? Coming out of the last conversation about hygiene and self-awareness, it's the perfect moment to dive deeper into a truth I've seen far too many men overlook. After 60, ignoring even the smallest changes in your genital area is no longer a harmless habit. In fact, it could be the very thing that stands between early treatment and a life-altering diagnosis. Pain, lesions, or lumps on or around the penis are often brushed off. Maybe they're just from friction, or it'll go away in a few days, right? But let me tell you, the penis doesn't create symptoms for no reason. Especially at an older age, when the immune system becomes less efficient and cellular repair slows. What you see or feel externally could reflect something serious brewing internally. One of the most common things I hear is, "I didn't want to bother anyone about it." But what's truly bothersome is the cost of delay. A persistent sore that doesn't heal, a bump that suddenly appears and doesn't go away, or a sharp pain during urination or erection. These are all signs that demand your attention, not your silence. Sometimes, yes, these signs point to manageable issues like a urinary tract infection or a sexually transmitted infection. But I've also seen these same symptoms lead to diagnoses of penile cancer, bladder cancer, or systemic inflammation that could have been intercepted much earlier. If only someone had spoken up. And let's not forget the emotional toll, the shame, the anxiety, the fear of being judged or misunderstood. As a longtime health professional, I want to say this directly. Your doctor's job is not to judge you, it's to help you. You deserve a space where you can talk about these issues openly. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's the beginning of real healing. If something doesn't feel right, it's not overreacting to get it checked, it's being responsible. And when you act early, your treatment options are often simpler, less invasive, and much more effective. Whether that means a topical medication, a short round of antibiotics, or a minor procedure, these solutions are far easier to handle than what may come if symptoms are ignored. There's also a powerful mind-body connection here. When men ignore warning signs, it's not just the physical body that suffers, it's the psyche. Living with unresolved worry, wondering if that lump is normal, or secretly fearing the worst drains your confidence, intimacy, and overall peace of mind. You may not even realize how much anxiety you're carrying until you feel the relief of being told, "It's treatable and we caught it early." So here's my gentle but firm reminder. Your health doesn't ask you to be perfect. It just asks you to pay attention, to respect your body enough to speak up when something feels off, to trust that one uncomfortable appointment could save you years of regret or complications. If you're someone who's noticed changes but hasn't had the courage to ask, let this be your permission. Schedule a visit, start the conversation. And if this resonates with you, I invite you to share anonymously in the comments below. Your story might give another man the courage to protect his health too. In the next part, we'll explore a hidden risk that affects far more men than you'd expect, and it starts with something that seems completely harmless. Stay with me. 5. Let me ask you a question that most men over 60 rarely consider. Could the heat around your body be quietly draining your strength and vitality without you even noticing? Coming out of the last segment about noticing early warning signs, it's time we focus on something that doesn't often make headlines but should: temperature. Specifically, how everyday heat exposure could be undermining one of the most critical hormone systems that supports your energy, strength, and intimacy as you age. You may not think much about how warm baths, heated car seats, or even your laptop could affect you, but your testicles certainly do. There's a reason nature placed them outside the body. They're highly sensitive to temperature, and even small, sustained increases can quietly disrupt their normal function. Now, I know what you're thinking. At my age, fertility isn't really a concern anymore, and that's fair. But what most men don't realize is that heat affects more than sperm. It can lower testosterone, the hormone that keeps your muscles strong, your mind sharp, your motivation high, and your sex life active. You see, testosterone production already naturally declines with age. That's not a failure, it's biology. But when your testicles are routinely exposed to elevated temperatures, like soaking too long in hot tubs, relaxing in saunas for extended periods, or working with a laptop resting on your thighs, it creates a cumulative effect. And that subtle warmth can, over time, reduce the efficiency of testosterone production even further. The consequences rarely arrive like a thunderbolt. Instead, they creep in quietly: less energy in the afternoon, a slower recovery after exercise, slightly more difficulty achieving an erection, a gradual erosion of your edge, your fire, your confidence. You might chalk it up to age, but, in many cases, it's your environment that's accelerating the change. But here's the hopeful part: you can take control. You don't have to swear off comfort, warmth, or your favorite seat at the spa. It's about being strategic and mindful. Don't let your laptop sit directly on your lap for long periods. Use a desk or a cushion that protects against heat. Limit time in hot tubs to 10 to 15 minutes max. And take breaks when you're sitting for long periods, especially in warm environments. These are small, conscious shifts, but their impact on your long-term hormonal health can be significant. I've had patients in their 60s and 70s who came in feeling chronically fatigued, unmotivated, and emotionally flattened, to find that small lifestyle changes helped their testosterone rebound naturally. Not overnight, but enough to make them feel more alive, more connected, more themselves again. And let's not overlook the emotional side of this. When your testosterone dips too low, it's not just your libido that takes a hit, it's your sense of purpose, drive, and connection to others. Hormones don't just fuel the body, they influence your spirit. So treating your testicles with care isn't just a medical suggestion, it's a message of respect to your entire being. So, if you're feeling a bit off lately, or just want to give your body every advantage to age with strength and connection, start with the small things. Protect your body's core systems, even from something as subtle as heat. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed how hot environments affect your energy or intimacy? Have you made changes, your experience might, to help another man take the first step toward reclaiming his vitality? Stay with me in the next part. We'll explore a common misconception about aging that might be silently holding you back from the intimacy and confidence you still deserve. 6. Let me ask you something you may not have thought about lately. What if the greatest threat to your sexual vitality after 60 is simply doing nothing at all? Following our last discussion about how heat affects testosterone, there's another crucial truth many men overlook, one that quietly shapes their sexual health, confidence, and even body chemistry. It's a simple principle, but its impact is profound. Use it or lose it. Now, that might sound like a catchy slogan, but in the world of men's health, it's a biological reality. Erections, sexual stimulation, and physical intimacy aren't just about pleasure. They're a vital part of how your body maintains the health and structure of the penis itself. When you were younger, your body helped you out behind the scenes. Each night during sleep, you'd experience multiple spontaneous erections, completely unconscious, driven by your nervous system pumping oxygen-rich blood into the penile tissues. These nighttime erections are your body's natural way of keeping those tissues flexible, nourished, and strong. But as you get older, those automatic nighttime events become less frequent. And if you're no longer sexually active or even touching that part of your body, your penis can literally begin to change. Tissues lose elasticity, smooth muscle fibers can degrade, scar-like collagen can begin to replace the healthy structures you once took for granted. Over time, this can result in less firmness, slower response time, and yes, a slight but noticeable reduction in size or sensitivity. Now, here's the hopeful part. You don't need to surrender to this process. Just as exercise protects your muscles and joints, regular sexual activity, whether shared with a partner or through self-pleasure, helps preserve penile health. It promotes blood flow, keeps nerves responsive, and sustains the delicate balance of hormones like testosterone and dopamine, which influence everything from mood to motivation. But let's be clear, this isn't about performance or pressure. Maintaining a sexually active life in your 60s and beyond doesn't mean meeting some unrealistic standard or pushing yourself into routines that feel forced. It's about staying in touch with your own body. It's about carving out moments of closeness, curiosity, and joy without guilt, shame, or apology. That might look like creating space for intimacy with your partner, or simply allowing yourself to enjoy physical touch as a form of connection and well-being, using lubricant, experimenting with different times of day, or adjusting expectations based on how you feel are all healthy, not shameful. The goal isn't perfection, its presence. And don't underestimate the emotional value here. A consistent sexual routine, no matter how modest, can improve self-esteem, reduce stress, support immune function, and even help prevent depression. In many cases, I've seen men rediscover a sense of youth and agency not by chasing pharmaceuticals, but simply by reconnecting with this often neglected part of themselves. So if you've been feeling distant from your body or unsure whether it's worth trying anymore, this is your invitation. Yes, it is. Your sexuality is not behind you, it's within you. And when you give it room to breathe, you give your entire identity permission to stay alive, expressive, and empowered. Let's not allow outdated myths about aging dictate what's possible. You're not past your prime. You're entering a chapter that can be rich, fulfilling, and deeply rewarding if you choose to nourish it. Now I want to hear from you. What habits, thoughts, or routines have helped you maintain intimacy over the years? Share in the comments, because when we talk about this openly, we all grow stronger together. And don't miss the next segment. We're going to explore the one overlooked lifestyle mistake that quietly sabotages circulation, stamina, and desire every single day. As we close this journey together, I want to leave you with a simple but powerful truth. Your sexual health is not separate from your overall well-being. It is your well-being. Taking care of it isn't about chasing youth or clinging to the past. It's about honoring the body that has carried you this far, and making sure it remains a source of strength, confidence, and joy in the years ahead. Throughout this series, we've explored some of the most overlooked but vital aspects of male health after 63, and the importance of regular erections and mindful hygiene to protecting testosterone levels and avoiding dangerous shortcuts. And perhaps most importantly, we've acknowledged that sexual vitality doesn't just live in the body, it lives in how you feel about yourself. You don't need to be perfect, and you certainly don't need to compare yourself to who you were 30 years ago. What matters is staying engaged, listening to your body, asking for help when something feels off, choosing routines that support circulation, confidence, and connection, whether that's a daily walk, honest conversation with your partner, or simply giving yourself permission to feel pleasure without shame. These small choices, done consistently, create momentum. And that momentum builds not just stronger erections or better stamina, but a fuller life. A life where intimacy still has a place, where self-respect stays intact, and where health is an ongoing conversation rather than a one-time fix. If something in this video resonated with you, or if you have a story or insight that might help another man, you're warmly invited to share in the comments. Let's normalize this conversation, not hide from it. And if you found this video helpful, feel free to gently tap the like button and subscribe. Turn on notifications if you haven't already. It helps us reach more men like you who deserve clarity, connection, and care.